Hi, my name is Tyler Brown. I'm a controls engineer here at Engineered Vision. Today we are in our feasibility area, and I am going to explain the difference between a 6-axis and a SCARA robot. Today we've got two FANUC examples here, but there are plenty of other brands that we use in automation all the time. And I want to go over the basics of each one. It's kind of in the name, 6-axis. Has 6 axes that the robot can move in, or 6 degrees of freedom, or 6 joints. And I can kind of demonstrate that here right now. So we can see that joint 1 is going to be here at the bottom, or at the base of the robot, and it spins back and forth. Joint 2 is just above that, here. Joint 3 is next. Joint 4 spins the end. Joint 5 moves the wrist up and down. And then finally, joint 6 spins the end of arm tooling. So having 6 different joints allows for a ton of freedom. You can move the end of arm tooling, which will hold the part, really anywhere in 3D space, in any orientation. That kind of freedom allows you to do anything you want, really, within the capabilities. But the biggest drawback of a 6-axis robot is also its biggest advantage, which is all of the flexibility. A 6-axis robot typically is a little bit more complicated. It's a little bit harder to move around in tight spaces. So in those situations, sometimes a SCARA robot will make a lot more sense. There are only 4 axes, or 4 joints, on a SCARA robot, and I can kind of go through those here. So joint 1, again, is going to be at the base. Joint 2 is in the middle. Joint 3 moves the tooling up and down. And then joint 4 spins the tooling at the end. So I think one of the more obvious things to point out is you can see that this tooling is obviously different than what we have on the 6-axis right now, but it really only moves up and down as well as spinning. And so you can think about it, if you wanted to use this tooling to pick up anything at an angle, you couldn't. It's fixed in this orientation. And that is a disadvantage for some applications, but it's a huge advantage for others. A big thing here is that SCARAs are way less complicated. The majority of the time they're used in pick-and-place operations, where there's a part on the same plane, and you can imagine the robot coming over and picking it up, moving it to a different location, and then dropping it back off. SCARA robots are really good at doing that type of thing, and they're also extremely fast for it too, whereas a 6-axis robot may be a little bit slower. The moves to get to each places are a little bit more complicated, but if you've got to do anything at an angle for the end of arm tooling, or anything else more complicated than just picking and moving really quickly, a 6-axis makes a lot more sense. So if you've got an application that you don't know which robot would be the best for, or if a robot makes sense at all, reach out to us. We'll look through it and let you know.